Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a backup item that I purchased from the Guerlain holiday collection, and those are the Meteorites. So these are the gold pearls, and I purchased this off of Neiman Marcus not knowing that Sephora has them on their website, and it's the Sephora VIB sale that's going on right now. It shows the 3 permanent shades and then it shows the gold pearls, so I was a little sad about that, but that's okay. I got a backup of the gold pearls because I love them that much. So compared to the original Meteorites that I use every single day for I don't know how long in the Claire number 2 shade, these have got a little bit more sparkle to them, and they do appear to have a little bit of color to them. But I don't think that any of that color really translates to my skin, so I feel like it is a translucent, but it just has more like shine to it, or shimmer, or luminosity, if you will, compared to the original ones, and I love it. I've been wearing this every single day since I got it, with the exception of a couple days I did wear my Claire because I had set my face with a powder that I'll show you in a minute. I was like, these Meteorites with that powder is going to be like, I'm going to be way too shiny. So there was a few days where I went to my Claire because of the setting powder that I used on my face, but I love these Meteorites. I don't have like really detectable shimmer on the skin. Like when you originally swatch these, you can really see the shimmers, but when I buff it all over the skin, I don't like visibly detect the shimmer, but my skin looks really luminous. So I got a backup of these, and this is the one that I've been using. These do come with a little sponge that comes over the top of them, so you can see it's kind of like a beige color on there. And again, I don't feel like a ton of color transfers to my skin. So let me swatch. I'm going to take the bit that's on the lid there. The packaging is the same with the exception of the lid. It's gold as opposed to the silver. So there's a little bit of a swatch. I mean, if anything, there's a bit of a pinky tinge to it, where you would kind of think that there'd be like a more goldenness to it, but I love the tone of them. I think they look so pretty on the skin. So because they're limited edition and because I love them so much, and I do go through probably a tin a year of Meteorites, I had to have a backup of these. So those are the Guerlain Meteorites in the gold pearls right there. There's a total 0.8 ounces of product in here, and these are made in France too. The Meteorites are such a good product. And then the powder that I was referring to that I didn't use the gold Meteorites with is this Jill Stuart Glow in Oil Loose Powder. So I had set my face with this powder, and then the Guerlain Meteorites over the top of this was just going to be too much because this is a very glowy powder. And I think it's a combination of the oil infused in the powder, plus there's a bit of luminosity in the powder as well. So it was just like I was going to have way too much shine, and I liked the luminosity that this powder gave my skin that day, but I found myself wanting to kind of tone down the center of my face when I had oil break through, and then it looked really pretty like on the cheeks and stuff. I didn't like it to set underneath my eyes because of that luminosity in the powder, and I like it to be pretty matte underneath my eyes. But this powder's got 15 grams or 0.52 ounces of product in it, and it is made in Japan, and I think there are 2 or 3 shades available of this, and I got the shade number 2 in Lucent Lavender, so it's kind of a more brightening shade. It worked great, the tone did, for setting my foundation. But the packaging is really cute. It's like a twist clicky type of a top to it, and then it has a mesh screen in there. And I typically don't like the mesh screens because I like to put a little bit in the lid, and I can do that with this one because there isn't a mechanism holding the powder in like some of them come. And this does have a puff as well that comes in there. This is a really like luxe soft puff that comes inside the jar. This packaging is just super pretty. And then I'll give you guys a swatch of the powder here. I'm not sure how well you'd be able to pick up kind of a translucent lilac kind of powder, but we are going to try here. So I got some on my finger right there, and I'll just kind of mesh it right there so you can see it. Again, this did give my face, I feel like, a bit of added luminosity. It felt, I wouldn't go so far as to say it felt like I had extra hydration, but after I set my foundation, it definitely did not feel dry at all. So the powder is alcohol free and paraben free, and it contains rosemary extract and lavender oil, which is probably the scent that you're getting, but a lot of Jill Stuart products are infused with like a rose scent. I get like a rose lavender mix scent when I like smell this, so this powder does have a smell in case you're sensitive. And then it has got avocado oil, jojoba oil, shea butter fruit, muru butter, wild rose extract, glow diamond powder, and crystal glow pearl is what it says on the side here. A hydrating loose powder formulated with beauty oils that promote smoothness and moisture of the skin. And I did. My skin felt very, very nice when I set it with this powder. It does have a luminosity to it. If you have a really oily skin type, I would probably steer clear of this guy. But it's a pretty neat product there from Jill Stuart. Again, that's the Glow in Oil Loose Powder. And I got the shade, and it's right here. The Meteorites are still up there, the shiny part, but the lavender powder is right there from Jill Stuart. So yeah, that's the number 2 Lucent Lavender from Jill Stuart. And then next up, I got in my order from Camera Ready Cosmetics for their new Berlin 89 collection. I got 2 of the gel liners, and then I also purchased the eyeshadow palette. So it comes with a sleeve that says Berlin 89 on it there, like so you can kind of see the packaging through there. These products are made in Germany, and there's 12 grams or 0.42 ounces of product in here, so 12 eyeshadows, so there's a 1 gram per shade. And then here is the packaging. It's a cardboard packaging with a magnetic closure, and then you've got a mirror in there. The pans of these eyeshadows are quite a bit smaller than the original line, which I'll compare next to another palette that I purchased off of Camera Ready Cosmetics for you guys. But they are magnetized in here so you can pull them out. I would have preferred them to stay in line with the normal size pans, just so all of my stuff would look cohesive, because I did pull out quite a few of my lethal shadows from palettes and put them in a larger palette, and then these ones will be like little, you know, it's not gonna be cohesive. So other than that, I really like this palette. This first shade right here is like a gray with a pink kind of iridescence to it. A little bit of a duochrome shift. It's the flakiest out of the bunch. This yellow is a little flaky too, but this breakthrough shade is a multi-chrome with a black base to it that's very, very smooth. And I really enjoy a funky color story like this. It looks kind of random when you first look at it, because I think that the looks that come out of palettes like this are really unique and they look really pretty to me. So I've really enjoyed the looks that I've done out of this palette, and the formulation is really good. I had very little fallout. The mattes are pigmented and they blend really well too. And there's kind of, it's just a unique color story. So that was the most kind of flaky shade right there that I kind of had to pack on and smooth out when I put it on the inner third of my lid. But I still really like the shade. And then this next row. And this is one of those multi-chrome type of shades that has that black base. So the more that you blend a shade like that, the more it's going to start turning like a dark, you can start to see the black base in it. So when I use those type of shades like this, I like to put them on and not kind of blend them so much. I like to kind of use a patting or packing motion where I want it, so that I can retain the most out of like the multi-chrome shift on there. And then this last row here. Did I show you guys the cover of the palette? I think I did. Yeah, but I love this color story. I think it is super cool, and it's a good one going into fall too. Well, we're almost to winter now, aren't we? But that's the Berlin 89 palette right there. There's the front and the back. And then there are the swatches right there. And then let me show it next to this other palette that I purchased from Camera Ready Cosmetics that's exclusive to the website. And it was quite a bit more expensive because I think it's a palette that they put together with the individual shadows, so there aren't any like names on the back or anything like that of the palette. I was sure this palette came with a sleeve, but I could be mistaken because I cannot find it anywhere. So this is the Lethal Cosmetics and Camera Ready Cosmetics palette collaboration. So this one again is more expensive because it's full of the full-size shadows, and it's kind of a one that they put together for Camera Ready Cosmetics. So I'm going to read the shades that are in here. You've got Arsenic, Symbiosis, Pilgrim, Ephemeral, Kindlewood, Rebirth, Echo, Euphoria, and Trespass. And there is 16.2 grams or 0.57 ounces of product in here, so you're getting over a gram per shade. So I will compare the size of these pans to the size of the Berlin, so you can see the size difference right there. And both of these are magnetic, so you can pull them out as well, but I would have loved the Berlin palette to be the same size as these guys, just for, again, for cohesiveness. Go ahead and swatch this guy right here. You've got 5 shimmer metallics and 4 mattes in here. Again, really nice quality as well. And then these next ones. And then this last one. So that is the Lethal Cosmetics and Camera Ready Cosmetics collab palette right there. And again, the back, you can pop them out with a little pin, or if you have a little magnet, they'll pull out that way too. But it's got the standard kind of lethal refillable palette there. Really pretty colors in there. And then I also got 2 of the gel liners from Lethal Cosmetics from their Berlin collection. And these have got 0.17 ounces or 5 grams of product, and they are also made in Germany. The little box folds out like that, and there's a little saying inside of them. So the 2 shades that I got are Decibel, which is the brown winged liner that I have on my eyes today. And I really do like the gel liner formulation from Lethal Cosmetics. They last really well on the waterline. And then I like to mix in a drop of Duraline when I use them for winged liner on top, just to make them a little bit more fluid, because I like a very fluid liner. The only thing I don't like about them is they tend to dry out pretty quickly, and I think that has a lot to do with the packaging, because like I try to tighten the cap like really like as tight as I can, and the plastic cover has a little bit of give to it. And I can say this because I was going through them earlier in the week and I was testing to see which ones were like done because they're too dry, and I went to put the cover back on and I twisted it and I cracked the cap because of twisting it. So it's a little weak. I don't know if there's too much air that gets in there, or maybe it's just the formulation, but they do tend to dry out more quickly. So for the ones that I like to use as winged liner, I've been trying to keep a drop of Duraline inside the container to try to make them last a bit longer. And some of them it's working on, some of them they're still kind of drying out quick. But other than that, they are really nice liners. So again, I've got on Decibel as a winged liner today, and it's this kind of rusty brown shade. So there's a little cover that goes on there too, and I do keep those as well on top of the liner. So this is Decibel, and I did put a drop of Duraline in there as well to make it a little bit more creamy and fluid. But I really like the tone of that guy, and I think it's a really pretty winged liner shade. So that's Decibel. And the other shade is called Signal, and it's a deep green color. I wore this as a winged liner, and I liked it like that as well because it's quite deep. So this is the shade Signal. I also put a drop of the Duraline in there as well. I've worn this on the waterline too, so I mix the Duraline kind of in the center, and then when I want to use it on the waterline, I kind of go towards the outer edge so I don't pick up the Duraline, just to make sure that it lasts nicely on the waterline. But that is the shade Signal right there. So those are the 2 gel liners. I think there are 4 that came out with the Berlin collection, but those are the 2 that I got. I did repurchase the Duo Brush On Strip Lash Adhesive in the dark tone, and I thought I would mention it because this is just my favorite eyelash glue. It's got a brush applicator and it's got the black tone to it. It's just super, super easy to use. The one that I have is getting a little bit dried out. And then I also purchased the new Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette of Pearls. I got both of them. The packaging on these is just super stunning. The box packaging is really nice for starters, and so is the actual packaging. I love when brands switch up their like standard packaging with a little bit of spice so we can differentiate from others. I always think that's wonderful. So each one of these has got 0.16 ounces of product, or 4.6 grams across 4 shades. And these are made, I believe, in Italy. Yes, they are made in Italy. So again, here's the box packaging. And I will start off with the Cosmic Pearl Luxury Palette of Pops. This is the actual packaging. It's kind of got a opalescent effect in the background behind the stars. That's just super pretty. I love that, like the different colors that you can see behind there. And then here are your shadows. There's one matte shade, which is down here, and then this shade is a duochrome like purple brown. That's a Baked Gelée formulation, which again, you guys know how I feel about Baked Gelée. Love them. And then these 2 on top are kind of like shimmer shades. Ooh, get this little plastic out of there. And this is a really nice quad. It's not a standalone for me. Neither one of these is. Things are mid-tone or deeper, or just the other one is kind of mid-tone. And the quality of the shadows is really nice, but the shades aren't super revolutionary or anything like that. So hopefully you can tell in the swatches here whether or not this is something that you would like to pick up. So again, this one's got 1 matte, 1 Baked Gelée shadow, and then 2 shimmer shades right here. If this shade was just a little bit brighter, I could do standalone with this one, but it's just not quite bright enough for how I like to do my eyes. So I do use these paired with other palettes when I've used them. So that guy right there is the Cosmic Pearl Luxury Palette of Pops from Charlotte Tilbury right there. And then the other one is the Celestial Pearl Luxury Palette of Pops. And this one has got all like shimmer or shine in them. So you've got actually one topper shade, which is a thin, like no base sparkle type of a shadow. You've got one Baked Gelée, which is up here. And then you've got two of the kind of shimmer shades right here. Again, nice quality on these shadows. It's just not a standalone for me. Kind of all mid-tone shades in here. And nothing super unique with the colors, but again, the quality of the shadows is nice. That's that Baked Gelée. I love those formulations. So that guy right there is the Celestial Pearl Luxury Palette of Pops right there. Again, from Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, that packaging is so pretty too. And then next up, I also purchased the new Dominique Coral Blossom eyeshadow palette. So this is the latest launch from Dominique Cosmetics, and there are 10 eyeshadows that are 1.8 grams per shade. So you're getting a ton of product in here. This is what the box packaging looks like, and it does say on the box that it's made in the USA. And then here is the actual packaging. It's very pretty. It's got almost like a matte kind of NARS-esque cardboard feel to it. There's a mirror in there, and then here are your 10 eyeshadows. And this is the palette that I have got from the crease to up underneath the brow bone today. I used the matte shades in here. I used these two and then these two with a bit of this one. So 5 of the matte shades that I used in here. And there are 2, 4, 6, there are 7 mattes and 3 shimmers. So for shimmers, you've got this guy, and then this guy. So I really do like the formulation of Dominique Cosmetics eyeshadows. The mattes in this one are really nice. They're pigmented and they blend it out really nice too. And the shimmers are nice as well, but the shimmer formulation is very standard. Like, I wish she could have like amped it up a bit, like add a little bit more sparkle or shine or something, because they're very standard. But then again, not everybody likes that. So I always like to say, hopefully you can tell by the swatches whether or not it's something that you're gonna like. But the formulation of the shadows is really nice. Nothing super unique in here. I suppose the most unique shade would be this one down here. It's like a purple with a pinky, slightly bluish kind of tone to it, but mostly purple. It's pretty, but it's a little underwhelming for all of the really like shiny purple bluey shades that are out there nowadays. But I do like the palette. Again, I've got it from my crease upwards, and I've actually worn this quite a few times. I've liked to pair the mattes in here with other shiny shades, and I have used it with the shiny shades in here as well. They're just, I like I like that pop, that super shimmery shiny on the lid. So there are the first 4. And then these next guys. And then the other good thing too, you do get a lot of product in here. I would like it if she made her shadows magnetic. That would be super cool, because I would like to like create my own little mixture of eyeshadows from the Dominique Cosmetics range. Like in her Latte palette, that palette had some more special like sparkly like shades in there compared to the ones in this one. So there are the swatches right there of the new Dominique Cosmetics Coral Blossom eyeshadow palette. And then I wanted free shipping, so I thought I would try out one of the Beautiful Mess liquid eye paints. So this has got 0.28 ounces of product in it, and this guy is also made in the USA. So this is the box packaging. And then here is the actual packaging. I just picked this brown shade. I thought it was going to be kind of like one of them really sparkly, like glittery type of shadows, and it's not. It's more like a cream shadow. It's got like super good staying power, so it is a long-lasting product, but it's more like just a cream metallic brown shade. There are some little sparkles in there, but it's nothing like a Stila glitter and glow type shade, you know what I mean? It's more like a metallic cream shadow. And I should tell you the shade. The shade that I got is Daydreamer. So that's what the packaging looks like. and that is the shade Daydreamer. And then I did go ahead and purchase the new Anastasia Beverly Hills all-in-one palette for instant effortless looks from on the go to ultra glam. The Primrose. It's called the Primrose Palette. So it's this guy right here. It's ABH's latest palette launch, and I'm one of those people who buy all the ABH palette launches. So it's a cardboard packaging. It is made in the USA. The eyeshadows are 0.05 ounces each. There's quite a bit more product in here compared to her original ones. And then the pressed pigment for face and body, it says 0.04 ounce, and then the blush is 0.15 ounce. So if we open it up, this is what the palette looks like. And I do like this palette. It's not a bad palette at all. This shade I wish was just a little bit brighter. I can make it work as a standalone, but I do like, again, that little bit of more brightness on my inner corner than this kind of gives, but it has a really nice shine to it. So when I've used this, I did use it by itself and I enjoyed the look, but I was just wishing for a little extra pop in the corner, which I can always bring in Aether Beauty for that. And then the two blush shades are really pigmented. They're also really silky smooth. So I have a hard time with this deeper one because it's one of those really fine powders and it's so saturated and pigmented. It can be a little bit harder to blend out. This one I didn't have as much problems, but I did try to use the saddle shade and I was like, son of a gun. So it's really pigmented and quite deep. The shimmer shades in this palette are beautiful. So let's give you some swatches. There are, I think, one sequin shade, which is this Primrose shade. I always wish that they would just like, you know, decide shimmer or matte, but there are quite a bit of sparkles in it though. But the base of this one is matte. So So those are the first four shadows. And we got these next guys. And overall, a pretty warm eyeshadow palette. This copper shade is just really stunning. And pretty shades, but you know, same thing. Nothing super revolutionary about the colors that they picked. These last two are both matte. So those are the shadows. Here are the face shades, but you can also use them on the eyes. I actually went into that shade and used it as an eyeshadow because it kind of got a little bit of a mustardy kind of hint to it, and I liked it as an eyeshadow. But again, it's very pigmented. You can see it looks like an eyeshadow. So some pretty colors in there though. So that guy is the Primrose Palette for face and eyes from Anastasia Beverly Hills right there. I also like to get all the mini palettes that Too Faced does, so I got the Nobody Loafs Me Forbidden Fruit Cake eyeshadow palette, which is again one of their minis, and this guy here is bulk made in the USA, assembled in the Dominican Republic, and then there is a total of 0.19 ounces of product in here, is what I can catch from the back. So it's this guy right here, and this is a really cute little eyeshadow palette. It's a standalone for me, and the shades worked out really nice and stuff like that, but the shade selection is nothing unique to Too Faced. So the packaging is really cute. It looks like little fruit, you know, on there. And then here are the shades. There are 3 shimmers and 5 mattes in here. So your shimmers are these 3, and this is kind of a duochrome green to brown shade. Does this smell? I don't really get a scent from it. A lot of the times they do scent their little palettes depending on the theme, but this one is not. So those are the first 4. And then here is the bottom row. Yeah, and the quality on these is pretty nice. So those are the swatches right there for the Too Faced Forbidden Fruitcake mini eyeshadow palette right there. And this is the tin style packaging with a magnetic closure, and then there's a little mirror in there too. And then I purchased the 2 new Disney palettes from Morphe. I just loved the packaging on this, and I absolutely loved the color story on the 9 pan. There's a great selection in the large palette too, but that 9 pan, I wore it yesterday and I loved the look so much. I almost repeated it for today, but I wanted to try some new shadows that I got, so I didn't do it. But oh my goodness, I will be repeating the look that I got from this little guy. So again, these are from Morphe. It's the Mickey and Friends Truth Be Bold Mini Artistry palette. We'll just start off with this guy. And there is a total of 0.35 ounces of product, and it is made in China. So this is the box packaging, and here is the actual packaging. So it's a cardboard packaging with a magnetic closure, and then you do have a mirror in there. Again, I really like the imagery on this collection, and I again love the shade selection in here. So here are your shades. I had used this shimmer on the inner portion of the lid, and then this one on the rest of it. I put this kind of sparkly black in the crease, and I blended out with this Hey Shorty red in the middle, and then I popped the OG underneath the brow and then faded up that Hey Shorty into it. It was so pretty. It was such a pretty look. I will say the Hey Shorty shade, which is the red in the center, does want to pull pink in tone, so it's not like a red based orange, it's more like a pink based orange, which if I had one little gripe, I wished it would have stayed more true to red as opposed to turning like a little bit of that pinky toned red. So let's give you some swatches. There is a little bit of embossing in the pans too. I might have ruined them by now, but I really liked the look that I did with this yesterday. So there are the first 4. And then these next ones. They could have maybe changed it up with those blacks, because the black with the sparkles is a matte base, and then the black right there is just a matte black. And I think maybe we only needed one of them, but... And then this really pretty taupe shade. Taupey brown. Yeah, like looking at it, it looks a lot cooler on the eyes than like just looking at the color story right there. I just love the way that it looked on the eyes. So anyway, that is the Morphe, and this is the little 9 pan one, the Mini Artistry Palette, Mickey and Friends right there. And then here is the larger one, so it's the Mickey and Friends Truth Be Bold Artistry Palette, and this guy's got a massive 40.5 grams or 1.42 ounces of product. Again, this packaging is really cute. Something about the imagery on this is just really cute. So this guy is also made in China, so the imagery is also on the actual packaging, and there's a little bit of a 3D effect kind of with the lining on the characters, like you can feel it, it's raised slightly where the lining is, which is also a nice little touch. And I definitely have not used every shade in here, but I have used this palette and I do like it as well. There's a ton of good color combinations that you can do in here, and the mattes just perform super well. The shimmers are nice too, but some of them can be a little stiff, so I like to take a flat shader and kind of jab it in there to work the product up and then pick it up, and that usually works for me. So when I did, I used the Own It shade right there, and I think I grabbed this extra sparkle over here. Oh no, I used the Super Sassy shade, which is actually kind of similar to that one that's in the Dominique Cosmetics palette. Let's give you a random selection of swatches. This is what the top of the palette looks like right there. And this is one of their 35 eyeshadow palettes. Look at this matte periwinkle kind of blue shade. I love the uniqueness in some of these mattes. They're just really pretty. For like pastel-y mattes, they're pretty nice. Let's grab some of the deeper kind of, oh, that's not a matte, colorful kind of mattes. And then let's get some of these shimmer shades so you guys can get a good variety of swatches here. And there are quite a few matte shades in here, but there's a decent amount of shimmers too. I quite like it. I'm glad that I got it. So there are some of the swatches right there of the Mickey and Friends Artistry palette from Morphe. I want to do some more. Let me get this blue, this rich kind of metallic blue, in this kind of shade. Give you guys some more swatches here because I think they're nice. Look at those blues. Pretty colors. Anyway, so that is the Morphe Mickey and Friends Truth Be Bold eyeshadow palette right there. And that's everything that I purchased, and I did get in some really great PR packages. And this first one is from Shine by SD, which I have heard nothing but good things about. And Shaniqua reached out to me and asked if she could send me some of their products. And I was like, yes, please, because I can't tell you how many times I've been on that website and just like, I get a little overwhelmed because there's so many that I want. Like, they all look like those shifty, sparkly shades that I love, right? And so I'd load up my cart and it would be this huge order and then I wouldn't place it. I can't even tell you how many times I did that. So I'm really happy that I finally have some of these shadows in hand to show you guys. I've got two of the shades on my lid today. That's the really pretty purple shine that you see there. So the shades come individually packaged, so they go in a magnetic palette. And these are some of the sleeves that the shades came in. She sent me 9 shades, and these are made in Canada. And does it say, it says on the packaging 1.5 grams or 0.06 ounces per shade, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting. So I stuck them in this magnetized menagerie palette right here for now. So I have got the shade Infinity on the inner portion of the eye, which looks white, but it's got a super strong purple duochrome to it. And then for the rest of the lid with that shine, I've got the shade Glam Rush. So that's the other purple. So I'll swatch those two first. And I can say that these are very, very close, very in line with Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. They're that same type of high shine, shifty, unique type of formulation, and they give me that same vibe that the Clionadh Cosmetics shadows do. So all these are pretty smooth except for the one that I used on the inner portion of my lid today, which is that Infinity shade. That one is a little bit like some of the particles stick together. It's a little chunky and a little bit more flaky than the rest, but it has a really, really strong iridescent bluish purple duochrome to it. Again, that's the, it almost looks like, it looks like an ultraviolet purple, like the color that you would see underneath a ultraviolet blue lamp or something like that. That's what it looks like on. It's a really, really pretty shade, but it is more flaky than the rest. So I'll swatch the two shades that I have on right now. And I did like to use this a little bit more with my finger than a brush. I used this one with a brush and it was just fine. So the other purple shade is called Glam Rush, and it's so pretty. So these are the two, they're so pretty. These are the two that I have got on my eyes today. And I did sign up for emails, and I got one today. They are going to be doing a Black Friday sale and restocking a bunch of their unique shades. Look at it, I can just go like this and just keep looking at it. These are just my jam. I just love them. And when they restock, they did say they sell out quite quickly. So if you want some of those special shades, you're supposed to order before Black Friday because they might be sold out by Black Friday. But anyway, these are really pretty. I can feel that large order coming on because they do have quite a few shades. This next one is the shade Tainted. And this one here has got a strong golden shift to it. It looks white in the pan, but it's got a really strong golden shift to it. It's beautiful. So that one right there is the shade Tainted. Look at my finger. There's like a doggone fly flying around back there. Waffle, why aren't you doing your job? This shade is called Accelerate, and this one's got a strong pink undertone to it. They have like almost like a translucent base to them. So that one right there is Accelerate. This is the shade 24K, which, hello. These are really, really nice, you guys. These are just like so right up my alley. Look at that. So that is 24K. This one is called Adore You. It has like a bit of a yellow kind of shift, yellow-green shift in it. So that one is Adore You. This next one is the shade Ballistic, and it is ballistic. It's so pretty. Like, I just want them all. I get on that website and I'm just like I just want to add everything to my cart, you know? So that's Ballistic. And then these next two shades are the multi-chrome shades that have a black base to them. So again, you want to pack them on, try not to blend them too much, otherwise the black base will start to come out of them. They look really great over a dark base though too. If you like were to put like a paint pot or something with a really deep base to it and packed one of these over the top, oh, you will get some dimension. So this one is Fairy Tales. Greenish, reddish, brown right there. So this one is Fairy Tales. And then the last one is the shade Patient. They're so high shine. Look at those. They are beautiful. And a huge thank you to Shine by SD for sending those over. I'm so happy that I get to experience them finally. And then lastly, I got this PR package from Bareminerals that was just absolutely mind-blowing. I opened it up and it was just like, oh my goodness. They sent me a ton of their holiday sets. So I'm going to show you all the sets. I definitely have not used them all. I haven't opened some of them, but I want to show them to you anyways. But these are going to make some really good gifts for some people in my family. So I don't want to open them, but I'm going to show them to you guys. So they sent over this new limited edition face and eye brush trio, and it's got like really pretty wreath designs on it. All the packaging has kind of got this wreath design on there, and these are really super soft synthetic brushes, and they come in a makeup pouch with a green lining. So I'll show you the brushes. There's a double-ended eye brush, which I'm not crazy about double-ended because I always put my brushes in a cup, but they can be really handy to travel with. So there's a pencil kind of smudger on one end, and then a pinched paddled blender on the other, and then you get this massive face brush, which would be really good to, I think, to buff on probably their mineral foundation or a finishing powder. Again, these are really soft synthetic brushes, and then look at the handles on them. This is the Blend and Finish is what they're calling it. And then the eye brush is called the Multi-Purpose Eye. And then there's the Seamless Blush, which this one is circular all the way around. And the Blend and Finish has got a pinch to it. It's more like a paddled powder brush. This one is rounded. So you could contour with it, blush, highlight, kind of a little bit of a multitasker. So that is the brush set right there. And then the two sets that I am going to keep for myself are these two here, and this is the Day and Night Lip Care Duo. So there's a full-size lip balm and mask in here, and I have not tried either of these products, but I love a lip balm. I like to have lip balms in my pockets, in my bag, in my bathroom, in my bedroom. I like them everywhere because I don't like my lips to be dry. So I'm gonna give this guy a go, and if it's something that I love, you guys will probably be hearing about it in the future. But there's a potted one that is the Fito Retinol Lip Mask. I've never put any type of retinol situation on my lips, so that's going to be interesting. And then there's the Daytime Lip Balm that's in a stick. They're both Fito Retinol. It's just one's in a pot for night and one is in a stick for the daytime. Should I be scared? I don't know. And then I kind of noticed that their packaging was a little bit different, and all of their packaging is really eco-friendly. So like the cardboard packaging, and it says that the lip balm and mask packaging is made with post-consumer recycled plastic. The box is made with 30% post-consumer recycled material and no plastic. And then the tray that the little products are in are made with renewable plant-based materials and zero plastic. I like that, but I'm keeping that guy. And then the other one that I'm keeping is the original Mineral Veil full size and loose pressed powder duo. It's this set right here. So it comes with a full size of the pressed Mineral Veil, which this is what the compact looks like, and there's 0.3 ounces of product, or 9 grams in here. And I love the pressed Mineral Veil. It's a newer product that they released, and I actually like to save that particular powder for like more special events because it looks so pretty on the skin, and it's a pressed powder, so it's really easy to use. It doesn't make a huge mess, just a big powder brush, and I set my face with it. Love that product. This one is the translucent. I can get away with the translucent version, the translucent fair, and then also the translucent light. Those are the 3 shades that I can use on my skin tone. And then I used to use Original Mineral Veil a ton back when I used to strictly use Bareminerals products on my face. And I still like that product, but I don't gravitate towards that one too much. So maybe since it'll be sealed and stuff like that, maybe I'll put that in one of the other gifts or something, but I really want the powder. So that's this little set right here. And then there's this full-size Mineralist Hydra Smoothing Lipstick Trio, which this is a really good deal for 3 full-size lipsticks. $25 for the 3 lipsticks in there. And I'm tempted to pull the nude out, but I think I'm just going to leave it in there. I don't wear shades like these too often. So instead of pulling that out of there, I think I'm just going to leave it all together and gift this one as well. But I'll just pull one of the lipsticks out so you can see. It's a full-size lipstick that's in there. There's the shade Presence, which is an antique mauve, Honesty, which is a mauve pink, and then Inspiration, which is a cherry red right here. So that is a really good little set right there. Then I had never tried their full-size Strength and Length mascara, and they sent over this duo package, so it's got 2 of the mascaras in there. So I pulled one out to try it because I was intrigued by it, and then I'm going to gift the other one. But this mascara has got one of the most interesting wands I think I have ever seen. It is very interesting. It's a plastic bristle kind of one, and this side it's got this little tiny fine situation, and then this side's got like thicker spikes, this one's thinner spikes, and it's just very different from any other kind of mascara one. It kind of reminds me of how the Urban Decay Lash Freak was very different, kind of like that. You do have to be careful because of the shape of this not to poke yourself in the eye. So I try to use this flat side mostly on the lashes, and it's been holding up really well. I haven't had any transferring or flaking when I've used it so far. A lot of that is tested for me kind of in the summertime with the smudging and stuff, but so far so good. And I think that it gives a nice length and volume too. So it's also serum infused mascara, so it's going to do some conditioning to your lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to use this guy. It's the Extreme black shade right there, but that is the duo. So there's two full-size mascaras in there. And then there's the Skin Longevity Long Life Herb Serum Duo. There's a full-size and a free mini in here. So you've got the full-size in there and then the little size. I'm tempted to break this apart and just use the little size to see if I like it, but I'm also kind of tempted just to leave it together and gift this one. So that's another one of these sets. And then I'm so torn whether or not to dive into these next 2 because they are eyeshadow palettes, and you guys know how I am about eyeshadow and eyeshadow palettes. I go back and forth. I'm like, well, I'll keep the big one and then I'll gift the little one. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to keep them both. And then I'm like, no, let's gift them both. I don't know. If you guys have tried this new Bareminerals eyeshadow formula, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Maybe if it's going to fit my taste, or maybe if it's not, because if it's not, I don't want to kind of dive into them. I'd much rather gift them. But the shades are really pretty, and they look like one of those shadow formulations that's going to be like a natural everyday type of eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you the palettes, and these are also like all recycled materials and stuff. So this is the Bareminerals Mineralist Treasured Eyeshadow Palette. There are 12 shadows that are 0.04 ounces a piece. So it's this guy right here. And I believe all of these Bareminerals products are made in the USA, if I'm not mistaken. The packaging is one of those recyclable style packaging cardboard. And then you can also pull the palette out of the packaging for like recycling, like that. So the shades that are in here, again, I'm not gonna swatch these because I'm torn. Like, I don't see anything that's super like shiny revolutionary, and I think that this might make a really nice gift for somebody. So again, I'm torn. If you've used their new formulation like this, I'd love to know if you think I'd like it. So those are the shades that are in that guy. Again, that's the Mineralist Treasured palette right there. I'm gonna put this back in here. And then I want to show it next to the 6-pan one, which is the Aglow eyeshadow palette. So this is the packaging on this one. Same little style, except for this one's a 6-pan. And then here are the shades inside of here. So next to each other, this is what they look like. And I think that if I do keep one, I shouldn't keep them both, because I think there are quite a few similarities between the two. So I still got to make that decision. But these look like really like natural kind of eyeshadows. And then the last set is a big one. It is a 10-piece clean beauty collection, full size and mini favorites. So it comes in this big package right here. Should I pull it out so you guys can look at it? So there's a mini Pure Plush cleansing foam, a mini Long Life Herb serum, a mini Ageless Fito Retinol face cream, a mini original mineral veil, loose, and then a full-size all-over face color and warmth, which I used to use as my everyday bronzer back in the day, a full-size loose blush in First Class, full-size Mineralist lasting eyeliner in Onyx. I'd love to know if anybody's tried that eyeliner too, if that's like a long-wearing one for the waterline. Very interested. Full-size Strength and Length Serum Infused Mascara, so it's the same mascara from that duo. And then a full-size Mineralist Lip Gloss Balm in Heart. Ooh, the balm though. The balm part is getting me. Do I need to keep this one? Full-size Gen Nude Matte Liquid Lip Color in Swag. So this is a pretty good set with some full-size products in it. I used to be the biggest, like every single collection that they released on QVC. This was, no, I'm talking a while ago. I'm talking like probably 12 plus years ago. I had to have all of the collections. That's all I wore on my face was Bareminerals. So I have good experience with the mineral veil, the warmth, the blushes and stuff like that, and I still have a pretty decent collection of their loose products. And then they also make one of my favorite foundations, which is the Bare Pro foundation. I love this stuff. I've been using it for quite some time. But I wanted to show you guys all those sets because if you're a Bareminerals fan, I think that there are some really good ones in there for a decent price with a lot of products in there. And then the little card just says, "Joy is all around. Give joy with our clean and conscious holiday collection." So even into their packaging, they're trying to be more sustainable and clean and environmentally friendly, which is really nice. And that's what the card looks like. And a huge thank you to Bareminerals for sending over that massive PR package. And then real quick too, in case you didn't know, I did post a haul video yesterday. It was a sponsored video by Sephora, and it's a haul stuff that I was going to purchase anyway in my cart. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. You guys just left me the most supportive, nice comments on that video, and I really appreciate it because I have never done sponsored content before. This was my first one because it just fit. Like I said, I wouldn't feel very smart had I not done it because I was going to do that anyway, you know what I mean? So I just really appreciate the comments that you guys sent me a lot. I feel like I've got the best folks, you know what I mean? But anyway, that is everything that I have for my video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.